your soul, leaping at the chance for love. Can you feel haunted? Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Heaven knows. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for our final match of the night. I know it is heckin' late, super late for me too, but we got a great one here to round off the night. We're going back to the Titan League. We have the number 1 seed Godfathers going up against the number 8 Venganza, and I think it's going to be an absolute banger of a match. Venganza coming through the play-in bracket and actually losing in the first round to Vanguard because of an FF, but they were able to show up and show out in the final match of the play-in tournament against Nebula, and they beat them in 5. So they secured their spot here tonight against the Godfathers. And the winner of this match will be moving into the semifinals against Inferno. So a lot of the line here. I got my good friend Penguin up in the booth with me here tonight. You just saw him in the last match, and I'm sure your throat is killing you right now, my dude.
I'm very tired. It's my third cast of the day, or of the night now, I should say. And that last one was a doozy for sure. But I'm here with my boy. I'm here with my GM, and I'm here to just get this job done and watch the Titan players peak. Oh my goodness, it's Lumi with a quick shot on. But I'm looking forward to this match, Psycho.
And that is what we are gonna do. Both of these teams are really, really hot. Godfather's got Dylan, Arrow, and Trash. Venganza got Indicator, Lumi, and Dez. All 6 of these dudes are really strong. They've got heavy pop-off potential. I did hear through the grapevine that Arrow has been fighting against some lag here today, but his ping seems to be pretty good so far. We'll see if that holds out for him, or if that's a deciding factor here in the game tonight. I sure would hate to see Penguin, a team like the Godfathers, get taken out of this thing because of bad internet.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate, especially a player of great prestige as Arrow. He has been Titan's best for a long time, and his ping it's been a solid green, but it's been fluctuating between 60 and 80 ping. So the inconsistency is showing there, but Arrow's not one to shy away from a challenge. He is one of Nemesis' best, as he has the opportunity here with Dylan as a lead blocker. Oh boy, but Arrow is not one, like as I said, to shy away from the challenge. He leads Titan in shots per game. He's second in assists. He's third in goals. So he's top 3 in every major stat category. So they can take the lag all he wants. I could see Arrow peak as Dylan lays it up from above the net. Perfect placement to open up the scoring here.
Yeah, and I was going to say that the Arrow-Dylan duo is pretty strong, pretty scary. And with Trash bringing up their back end, it's a really, really solid team. And it's obvious why this is the number 1 seed as they start things off here. first as anticipated. Arrow out of the corner down to Dylan, but Lumi getting there just in time, sends it over Dylan in the midfield. Lumi up again in the midfield, blocking the attempt to get offense going from Godfathers. Arrow off the sidewall in the midfield, gets a second touch to send it out of the corner. Lumi is there yet again, staying strong defensively for Venganza. Lumi is almost single-handedly keeping this Godfather roster out from in front of their net, but it hasn't been enough so far, as the Godfathers are still leading by 1. Venganza are going to have to get out of their defensive zone and get some offense going here, as Indicator sends it down, but Trash is able to send it straight back into the Venganza zone. Dylan missing his touch. Arrows gets there, but has to fight against 2 of Venganza's players. Indicator in the mid with the touch, sending it across field. Indicator again off the side. Dez trying to beat out Arrow. They 50. Lumi there, getting it through the defense. Lumi gonna thread that needle and tie us up.
Lumi with 2 shots on net already. Those are Venganza's lone shots on net, but it's proving to be all they need as they tie this series up. Godfathers have proven to be such a dominant team, but Venganza punching them right back in the mouth to hopefully show that they belong where they are in the Titan League. They may have made the play-ins and got here as the 8th seed as they face a tall task, but they proved there with a quick answer that they belong.
Yeah, and that was a really big statement from Venganza, but Arrow trying to shut things down. Can't find the double off the backboard. Trash popping it up. Dez is there. Dez to stick with it. Gets the flip and sends it over. Dylan. Arrow in the midfield, though, taking a long shot. It's going to go wide of the net. Arrow again, but this one's going to slot in. Arrow's accuracy starting to heat up.
Arrow is 3rd, as I said, in goals per game, and he is just a absolute legend as he slots that with such great power. But this Godfathers trio just proving to be dominant, as like Arrow's 2nd in assists. He's behind iTrash, and Arrow's 3rd in goals. He's behind Dylan. Like, this Godfathers team is just so dominant that it seems like they might be that team. They are the team to beat, but proving it might be too much for teams that they go against, because it's a 3-headed monster. Is if you try to shut down one, the other 2 might take you over.
Yeah, and the Godfathers were a menace through the regular season too. They didn't get the perfect 18-0 season, but they did come pretty close. I can't remember straight off the top of my head, but I think they only registered about 2 or 3 losses through that entire season. Penguin, maybe you can back me up on that or prove me wrong. I don't know if that was part of the stats that you got earlier.
I got a lot of stats, and I can say that the Godfathers were 14-4, so not quite, but like that's still really close, and a dominant regular season. Who knows? They might have just took it easy, lost a couple of games, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you go 18-0. If you lose in the playoffs, like you're just going to be remembered as a choker. So Godfathers, they only want results here on this pitch in these playoffs.
And that is what they are getting so far, though there is the final 30 seconds here. Lumi with the shot. Dylan getting his savior medal, keeping that ball out of Godfather's net. The final 15 seconds here is Lumi's going to take another shot. The double commit from Godfather's on the defense, but Arrow's up, and he's able to get a shot on net, making Venganza put a little bit of respect in the defensive side of things. Dylan with yet another save, registering his 4th of the game. The final second here looking dangerous. Venganza almost able to equalize it with a 0-second goal, but falling just short, as Godfather's going to clinch game number 1 win.
Great play from Dylan there, keeping his team alive, as Venganza only had 5 shots on net, and Dylan there to save 4 of them. I believe that's going to be the story of this game, as Godfathers had 8 shots on net, and Venganza able to register 4 saves. But if you're going to go into a disadvantage in the shot department, it will come costly if you're not going to be able to make all the saves that you can, because especially with players like Arrow, Dylan, and Trash, they are going to score goals on you. And Dylan himself being 4th in shooting percentage. They have shooters on this team. They have goal scorers. If you're going to You got to be able to shut them down offensively and get them out of your half if you want to have a chance at beating them.
And that's probably some pretty good advice to take, but Venganza wasn't able to do so in game one. We'll see what kind of changes they make here in game number 2. As in the first 20 seconds, we're seeing a different Venganza indicator catching a beautiful pass from Lumi there.
Dylan can't make the save if he's not in the net, and what a great play by Indicator to play it around him, and he was able to play it to Lumi, who sent it right back to him for the finish. What a powerful shot, and not a chance for the defenders in net, even if they were there.
Certainly wasn't. As Arrow trying to get fancy, gets the bump on Indicator, but can't get the ball through. Lumi off the backboard, not able to follow as he's going to get bumped off. Dylan with a save as Dez gets a shot. Indicator with the flip, getting it around one and dunking on Dylan, almost getting that through, but it's going to bounce off of the post. Venganza with the dropped opportunity, but they are not done yet. Lumi popping it up, trying to stick with it and just be a thorn in the side of the Godfathers, trying to clear that ball out. Dez with the pop around arrow down to Lumi, who is going to get a misread on that ball, not able to find a touch. High Trash gets it through Indicator. Lumi there off the backboard. Dylan making the touch, but getting bumped by Indicator. Dez sends it back out of the mid. We're seeing so much pressure from Venganza right now, Penguin. They really switched up the tactics here, and it seems to be working out very, very well for them.
Absolutely. They are holding the Godfathers back, only registering 2 shots on net have the Godfathers. Same amount for Venganza, but able to finish on one of them, that proving to be the difference. As Indicator goes for a flip reset, it's flying towards his own end, but this is just a different Venganza, but oh my goodness, almost costly there as someone got deleted as the ball was flying towards their net, but what a great save from the last defender back.
Yeah, that was a great save and a great shot from Trash too in the mid, trying to take advantage of that demo smoke and to screen his shot. But the defense was so strong there, as Venganza has been showing us here in game number 2, that I guess game number 1 was just a bit of a fluke. Maybe they were feeling out their opponents, maybe they were feeling some stream nerves, but all that is behind them now. But Dylan gonna go ahead and cut the lead down as he dunks it off of the top of the last defender to equalize things here.
See, you'll hear a lot of high-ranked players. This is the Titan League, but you'll hear a lot of high-ranked players preach deep thirds, and I believe it was Dez who was just at the midfield line as the ball was flying around him. So he made himself awkward enough for Dylan to take advantage with that dunk. So he wasn't in a great position to get that 50, and Dylan just hammered it home right off the top of his car.
As he does. If you give him that ability, I'm sure you give any of these 6 players that ability, and they're not going to miss an empty net 9 times out of 10, 49 times out of 50. Trash putting it up, but Indicator's there, getting the carry off of his backboard. Dylan in the midfield with the defensive touch. Dez trying to take his time. Dylan going to come back for it. 50 bounces in favor of Dylan, but Lumi to take it away from him. Trash to take it away from him, and Indicator going to take possession. And Venganza not able to get this ball cleared out, though, as Dylan gets it in front of the net. Arrow is there. He's going to put that one in, and Godfathers take the lead.
What a great play from Dylan there, as all of the Godfathers are putting on a 50-50 masterclass, as they are just winning every single 50 that I watched, starting from that goal that went off atop of Dez, that every 50 went for the advantage of the Godfathers, starting to make it look like a 70-30 because the Godfathers is just too strong, and Arrow there to finish the goal from what a great play from Dylan.
Oh.
As Indicator with a shot on, it's still dangerous for them.
Dangerous indeed as it hangs in front of their net. Dez trying to find a teammate. Indicator shot gonna go wide. Lumi sticking with it, just trying to put a hand in the face of Godfathers as they try to get it out. Trash with the carry and the air dribble. He gets a beautiful play to put that one through and extend Godfathers' lead by 2.
Lumi there on the backboard, that's where you need to be, but he just mistimed his jump and he went right underneath. So that left the last defender back in net unable to make a play, because you got to preach the double commits, and he could not commit there with Lumi on the backboard. Lumi was the next man to make the challenge, but unluckily enough, he missed it, and that left the not enough time for the last man to make a play. So looks like the Godfathers are running away with it despite Venganza's hot start.
Yeah, with less than 60 seconds now on the clock, Venganza needs to find a net pretty soon here to stop the clock and reset up on a kickoff to attempt to get a second goal. There it is. That's exactly what they need, is Indicator catching a pass from Dez and then doubles off the backboard there.
Indicator there, very importantly, winning a 50 in his own corner, and it rolled right to Dez, who just slammed it off his backboard. And that's a free goal for Titans, absolutely, because the net was open and all he had to do was read the ball. And these Titan players are very literate, and Indicator popping off here as he has Venganza's 2 lone goals. So hopefully someone else from his team can help him out, as Dez wins a big 50 there.
In the final 20 seconds now is Indicator trying to come through, trying to get the equalizer. The ball is sent to the midfield. Dez with a mistouch. Indicator trying to help him out. Back to Dez with the shot. It's a little bit weak. Dylan going to get in front of it. The final 5 seconds now ticking down in game number 2. Godfathers looking to extend their lead in the series. Once the ball touches down, Lumi sends it out. Arrow looking to get a flip reset. Does, down to Dylan. And it would have been a goal if they had just a few more seconds. It's going to fall short, but Godfathers securing game number 2 win. And yeah, it's not starting to not look so good for Venganza, Penguin. They really played really well, in my opinion, until just right there at the very end. Once the Godfathers got a little bit of that momentum, they were just almost unstoppable.
Venganza really feeling the snowball effect that is the Godfather's offense. Whenever they have the momentum, they are just not going to stop, as they were held to very few shots to begin the game, as when it seemed Venganza was at his strongest. But once they got the flow of the game, once they got the ball rolling, they were not able to be stopped, as despite the late comeback, Godfather still had complete control of that game.
And Dez! Holy moly, starting things off beautifully with a solo play.
Dez is that guy, as he plays it right around Dylan on the backboard. It's so awkward with the camera angles on the backboard, but you expect these Titan players to make those touches. But Dez just had a free shot and a free double despite the defense being there. So he'll take that as they take the early lead once again in this game. Hopefully they can hold on this time despite having the lead in game 2 and coming out with the loss. You just got to try and suppress this. Godfather's offense's arrow was up in the air. That's one of his most dangerous places, but you got to shut them down somehow.
And it looks like Arrow's mechanics are starting to warm up a little bit here. He got the flip reset and was looking to do something with it, but luckily for Venganza, they were able to put a stop to that, as Arrow's going to send this one down past Lumi. Off the backboard, Lumi getting a touch, though. Dez beating out Dylan. Pops it up. Trash beats Indicator in the midfield. It's still high ball. And Lumi's going to send it out to the mid. Dez is there. Dylan is as well. He half flips to try and clear this ball out. Godfather's still trying to get this out, as Arrow is going to finally get it past the midline. Dylan with the doink up into the corner. Arrow is a little bit past him there, and he's going to get demoed by Lumi. Trash back all by himself, but huge on the 50, and is able to keep that ball safely away from his net. Dylan sending it down, but Indicators is there for the save. Arrow with a touch that he can't follow. Dez sending it to the midfield where it gets knocked back down. And we're seeing a lot of back and forth in the midfield here, Penguin. Only 2 shots registered through this entire game so far.
I feel like these offenses are just trying a little bit too much to beat the defenders. I understand that these defenses are threatening with a lot of saves on the net throughout the series, so they're just trying a little bit of something, as Lumi with a breakaway, but he's dunked by Trash, and Indicator's up, but he's met by Arrow and demoed by Dylan. But if they could just maybe simplify their offense a little bit. Just try and get the quantity, and then once you get the hang of it, then the quality will come, and then you'll be able to get your flip resets. You'll be able to get your double taps, but you got to do the work to set that up, and that starts slow and that starts simple. As Arrow finishes off the bump, and it's tied up with 2:41 left, Psycho.
Yeah, some good pressure from Dylan there, sending it out to the mid, and then Trash to come in, or it sets up Arrow to get in there and get that goal. And what I meant to say was good pressure from the Godfathers in general, as all three of them were on that ball immediately after the next one, and showing, again, why they're one of the top teams here in the Titan League. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, exactly half of game number 3 left. We have a tie ball game here, possibly looking at the first overtime of the series, as the ball is now in the Godfather zone. Indicator with the 50, going to get pinched across. iTrash to take it off the sidewall. Lumi dunking him, which pinches it all the way back across, but Dylan going to get the air dribble, send it into Venganza zone. Arrow missing his touch as the ball is floating in the mid. Dylan's there to send it back across the way. And Dylan again with another touch. He's got an empty net to shoot at, and he's not going to miss those. Now Godfathers are again in the lead.
Dez with an unfortunate miss left Lumi stranded back alone on the net. Dylan just had he had him dead to rights, and he took advantage of that, giving Godfathers the 2-1 lead. But I have to go back to that first goal that the Godfathers scored. I said that there was a bump, but I couldn't quite see who it was until the replay. It was actually a team bump. So that giving Godfathers momentum that they seem to be running away with as iTrash gets the shot, all as a result of a team bump with a panic on the goal line. So this could be a completely different game if they didn't hit each other on the goal line there, Psycho.
Yeah, and that's going to be really unfortunate for them, because they are not in the position to be dropping another game, especially to this Godfathers roster. If they go down 3-0 in the series, I think it might be lights out for Venganza here. I think they might even get swept out of this playoff tournament. But we'll have to see here. With a little over 60 seconds on the clock, Venganza is only down by 1 in game number 4. They should be able to make a comeback here. I have faith that these boys will at least be able to equalize the score here, as Dez gets a beautiful flick. Indicator there to finish it off, as Dez's shot is going to bounce off of the crossbar.
Dez seemingly to be challenged by Dylan. Dylan with the unfortunate fake. I don't believe that was a good decision to fake there, as Dez still had complete control, and unfortunately he missed his flick, but fortunately for him, Indicator has his indicator lights on to prove that he can read that ball. And oh my goodness, we have a game on our hands. It's a tie ball game, and Venganza seemingly has momentum as they are putting the pressure on Godfathers.
We'll see what they're able to do here, as Trash is going to air dribble the ball out of his zone. Indicator with the doink. Dez is there, but Dylan is as well. Dylan with a big save. Dylan been playing big defense all series long. He's been a huge defensive player for this Godfathers roster here tonight. In the final 10 seconds before we see an overtime, will either of these teams finish in regulation? Indicator sending it down, can't follow, as Dylan's gonna bang an arrow out of the corner, looking for a teammate. Dylan is there, but his shot's gonna go wide. Trash trying to keep it up, pops it, arrow's there, and he's gonna finish with the 0-second goal. Arrow secures a game number 3 win.
All right, I'm awake, Psycho. Arrow, I can't just say Arrow. That was a Godfather's team dominance there at the end with 0 seconds. They kept passing the ball around, and they were just there to support each other. I kept thinking to myself, I was like, oh, they have a chance here, and they would miss. Like, oh, they still have a chance here. And Arrow with the ball just millimeters above the ground gets that 0-second goal. This is indeed Rocket League, and this is a 3-0 series lead for the Godfathers with their 3rd straight 1-goal victory.
Yeah, and this is literally the toughest position Venganza could imagine themselves to be in this playoff tournament. being the number 8 seed, just barely making it in. Honestly, some people might even think they might have should not made it in, as they had to forfeit in the very first round of the play-ins, but they were able to pull it out against Nebula, and now here they are facing a reverse sweep against the number 1 Titan seed in Nemesis. I don't know what to say, Penguin, but I would not want to be in Venganza's shoes right now.
Honestly, like, they've just enabled this Godfathers team to be as confident and as reckless as they can be. And as you might think, like, oh, this team is going to play reckless and lights out, and so they'll be sloppy. Not this team, because they have like just all dominant players in the Titan League. So if they're confident in playing their game, they might be even more unstoppable, as they have shown so far this series.
We shall see. Only time will tell. As Lumi's there, he gets the block on arrows clear, and Dez to send that one out. A long ball back. Nobody home, as Arrow is going to double that off the post.
Indicator being the third guy back, and he was not very deep, as he was 3/4 of the way into his offensive zone, and that's 3/4 of the way of the pitch away from his net, and he got there fast enough to make a play on it, but not fast enough to make an effective play to avoid the goal.
Oh, and Godfathers with another one. I didn't even get to see exactly what happened. Looked like a pinch, as Arrow just 50s the mess out of that defense, bounces off of Dylan, and just goes up perfectly for Arrow to get that alley-oop play right there. Penguin, man, these guys are feeling themselves in Game 4.
Absolutely, like the double commit didn't even matter, because they had the power of friendship to just slam it home. Dylan with the great touch right off the corner of his car to pop it up off the backboard, and Arrow there right with him to hammer it home. And like I said, this team is feeling confident, and now they have a 2-0 lead in this match. I mean, there's a lot of time left, just under a minute in, or just over a minute into this game, but there goes eye trash, and it might spell disaster for Venganza.
Yeah, that very well might. I was just about to say that it would be, a tragic mistake to sleep on Venganza at this point, as they only have 3 shots to their name, but every single shot had to be saved. Dylan with 3 saves to his name. So even though Venganza is very behind at this point, they are still very, very deadly. So Godfathers are not going to be able to give them an inch, as it doesn't appear that they've given up, even in the face of such adversity, which they love to see that competitive bone in their body just come in and take control of them and force them to just not give up. Will they be able to overcome this, or will the Godfathers walk away victorious, as Lumi trying to get just the ball out of Venganza's half? Seems like Godfathers are just swarming this ball and just doing pretty much whatever they want. Dez with an amazing save on the goal line, a backwards flick to get that ball away. Dylan not able to slot that one through, is going to bounce off of the post, and Godfathers still on the offensive push here, Penguin. I don't know what Venganza's got to do, but they got to do something.
I mean, you saw a great play from Dez to keep the ball out of the net. Not only did he get that backwards flick to keep it above, he got the bump on the person sitting mid, waiting to finish that pass home. But as well as he has played offensively, defensively, their offense has just been inert. It has gone missing. It's on a milk carton. Its mom misses them. The offense is just gone, but they need something here. But all respect to the competitiveness, that they are still fighting for their lives, fighting for their season in this game. But you got to keep the pressure up. You got to get some more shots on net, because you said earlier they had 3 shots on net, and here we are a few minutes later, and they still have 3 shots on net.
That's very true. The small amount of offense that they were able to generate, although deadly, wasn't deadly enough to beat out this Godfather's defense. as they've been playing very strong defensively and offensively all night. And what a beautiful play, though, from Venganza as they finally wake up.
One thing to note there, Arrow was flashing red, so he was there to make that initial challenge, but maybe the ping caused the issue. But either way, a goal is a goal in this Titan League. As tight as this series may be, all games were one goal so far, so Venganza still has a chance to bring it back as long as they can keep up that score. You may pray for a little bit of Arrow lag, but you got to do something more, and they had a good start there.
Yeah, Venganza really needs to turn off the afterburners here. Dez looking for the redirect in the in the front field. Indicator sending it down in the mid. The double commit coming out. Oh, he can't get the touch as Dez just going to send it into the corner. Not able to get the dunk on Dylan Loomy with the shot, but it gets deflected by Dylan Indicator. Sending it out to the mid, and Trash puts it down, but Dez to send it back. Finally, Venganza sustaining a little bit of offensive pressure here, but with only 50 seconds left on the clock, will it be enough? They still have to find the back of the net twice just to force the overtime, or they go home for good. This is game 4. Venganza is down 3-0 in the series. The Godfathers looking for that sweep to take them out here in round number 1 of this playoffs. Tournament Indicator with the flip reset, but it's not going to be enough. Can't get it past Dylan. The final 20 seconds here is Dez and Loomy going to get a little pass play in front of the net, but will it be enough? They're down by 1 with 19 seconds to go.
Loomy started it and finished that play as he's keeping his season alive. 1 goal with 20 seconds. It's entirely possible with the skill of all of these players in the Titan League. But Loomy with an excellent 50, baited out the ball, and his teammate dished it right back to him. And he was able to take advantage as the ball's floating in front of the net. Indicator to Loomy. They tie it up with 10 seconds. They had 19, and they only needed 9.
What a play. Great aggression from Loomy there as he's going to stay on top of that ball, gets the interception from Godfathers trying to clear it out, and then passes it to an open teammate who passes it back to him. Great play. You love to see it. Tying things up here. This Venganza roster is done, I guess. I was going to say they're not done.
Arrow said it best in the chat with the eyes wide open as another late game goal to probably end Venganza's season. Let's see how the kickoff goes, and it did not go anywhere in the favor of Venganza. What a fight, what a game. As far as sweeps go, that was the closest sweep I have seen, all 1-goal games, Psycho.
Yeah, that was really, really close for Venganza. Really unfortunate that it had to turn out for a sweep for him, and an even more unfortunate way for it to end right there at the very end like that, as they were just about to force that game number 5 and start their road to the reverse. But, you know, it's unfortunate, too little too late for them, and that's going to be the end of their season. Godfather's going to move on in the semifinals to play against Inferno sometime next week. I'm not sure. I don't think those games have technically been scheduled yet, but those will be the 2 teams, Inferno versus Godfathers. We saw Infernos beat the Krakens earlier tonight. They were looking really hot, but it's going to be a tall order for them to beat that Godfathers roster. Penguin, it's late. I'm tired. I know you're tired. I appreciate you joining me here in the booth, my man.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. It's always good to get in the booth with the GOAT. If there was anyone that I needed to drag me through this, it would be you every single time. And it was just a pleasure, and I was glad that it ended in a sweep, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. We ended before midnight as the clock strikes midnight now. But I look forward to see how this bracket plays out against Inferno. And we got Pinnacle and Phoenix on the other side. That's just one step closer to the grand finals.
Most definitely. And before we go, I just want to do a quick shout out to our resubs and such. Gallium, shout out to you for the resub at 2 months. DAP308, shout out for the resub hitting his year, 12 months. Blazing Biscuit with the 35 months. Much love to you, buddy. And Chunklight with the gifted sub. Also, like to thank our novice premium subscribers, Jeff Masters with the 4, Sub-Zero with the 3, Sandsbar with the 2. Thank you to our challenger subscribers, Chunklight, once again, 4-time subscriber, Nixoy, the challenger subscriber, and the Titan Sodak, 4-times subscriber, the 4-time subscriber, Crip, 3 times Valence, 3 times Speed Demon, 2 times Owen, and 2 times Velatech. Thank you, gentlemen, for all of your support. Thank you, everybody who stuck with us through the stream so much. Have a good night. We will be back, I believe, Friday with our next matches.
Thank you.